Hello friends, in this video I'm going to explain how to add scatter plot and bar plot in Power BI using Python. Also will show you how to add data labels to the Python visuals in a customized format using for loop and zip function. This video is going to help you to understand few important attributes of scatter and bar plot in Matplotlib library, since it is very important to know the attributes to deal with Python visuals in Power BI. So please keep watching. The objective of this video is to create these visuals, scatter plot and bar plot, and also dealing with the shapes in the scatter plot and color schema. Most importantly, the data labels. Whenever you add a regular visual in Power BI, if you go to the properties or formatting options, you will be able to find one option, data labels, where from you can add the data labels to the visual. But in case of Python visuals, you do not have such option here. So you need to add data labels using the Python code. For that, you need to understand the attributes of each plot. Scatter plot have different attributes and bar plot have different attributes, and the entire documentation is available in the Matplotlib library. So if you go to the website of Matplotlib, you will be able to see. I'm going to discuss few important attributes while creating these visuals so that you'll understand how to use them, and then accordingly you can enhance your idea in terms of Python visuals in Power BI. To begin with, I need to get into a new Power BI, and then I need to get the data. To get the data, I'm using Python script. So get data more. I'll search for Python script option so that I can select that. And then first I need to import pandas. And then I need to get my basic data. My data equal pd.read Excel file, and then the location is this. .excel a6. So this gives me the file. Then I want my summary. So I need to create a pivot table. So pd.pivot table, and using the my data I need to create the pivot table. So index is city, and then I need to use aggregate function sum, and then I need to reset the index so that I will get the city name also. And if I use, use this code and press OK, so I'll be getting both the databases. In the earlier video, I was taking only the summary, but in this case, I would like to use both the data points. The small table also and the bigger table also. So how to use different code to get the scatter plot while using a small, bigger data and small data. So let me load it. First, let me show you how to add a bar chart using the smaller data set and then add data labels to it. So I'm using the summary data. So I need to add a Python visual and then make it little larger. Now into the data fields, I need to add city, then duration, then revenue, and let me convert into for some reason the data is coming as count. I need to convert into sum. First, I need to import Matplotlib and respective packages. For that, I need to start with import Matplotlib as MB, and then I need to import the pyplot matplotlib pyplot as PLT. Then I need to set up the styling, because I need to have the font size properly visible. Whenever you create a Python chart, the size of the font will be always small, so I need to make it bigger. For that, mb.rc params parameters. So styling is font size equal 19. Now I need to set up the x-axis and y-axis. So I have total 7 rows in my data. If I look at the data, if I go to the summary and if I select the data table, you can see there are 7 cities are there, and I'm going to use all these 7 cities. So I need to define the number of rows and the column name. First I'm using x-axis for city and y-axis for revenue. So let me go back to the report view, and then I need to say x-axis x equal I need to get into the data set, and then I need to go to the location, that is rows and columns. There are 7 rows and the column name is city, and I need to convert this into list. Same way, y equal dataset dot location 0 to 6, and then column name is revenue, and then I need to convert into list. Now I need to use the plt dot plot bar, that is plot, and then x comma y. Next is plt dot show. If I run this code, I'll get the bar chart. But that is not enough. We need to add the remaining attributes. First attribute will be color. For that, let me get into the code. There, color equal sky blue. And if I run the code, it is absolutely fine. And if I extend it, because the names are now kind of overlapped, so let me create like this, maybe this much, and if I run this again, the names will be settled properly. As I mentioned earlier, if you wanted to have the data labels using the properties of the visual, you will not find any such option. So I need to use Python code, and I need to take the help of Python to get the data labels. To set the data labels, I need to use for loop. So let me go to the plt.bar next for x and y in zip x comma y. I'm going to discuss about a zip function in a separate video in detail, and I'm going to give you a link of zip function to understand it. You can get various examples from the YouTube, but I'm going to discuss separately in a detailed video. So I need to set up the label. So label equal, I need to set up the format. I want a dollar in front because I'm using revenue, and then inside that I need to start with a comma, and then I want decimal, which will decide the floating numbers, that is the decimals, and I want 2 floating values, and then the format of y-axis should be millions because I have numbers in millions. If I take the absolute numbers, the format will not be good, and I want to indicate that this is million, so that dollar millions within the format. Now I need to annotate. So plt.annotate, then first is label, and then x comma y, and if I run this code, you will get the data labels. But the data labels are aligned right, so I need to bring them into the center. So here in the attributes, after label and x and y, comma, horizontal alignment, center. Now if I run this code, the labels will be in the center exactly, but I need to manage them little top because currently the labels are exactly attached to the bar, I want them to be on the little top. So here we need to align the vertical alignment and horizontal alignment in a different way. That is, I want them on the top center. Currently it is in center. For that I need to use the XY coordinates, the text coordinates. So text coords equal offset points. So I need to give offset points here. That is XY text equal, exactly it should be in the center, but 10 points towards top. And if I just run this code, you can see the data is now floating on the bar. For example, if I make this -10, you can see those values will come down. So it is actually, you are telling from the 0, please go down. If you say -10, the values are coming down. And if I say 0, 0, they will be again the same position where earlier they were. And if I say 10 and 0, now they will be aligned to the right. Right. So if I say -10, they will be aligned to left. But anyway, I want exactly in the center, but they should be on the top. Even I can add 20 or rather 15 so that they are in the floating position. If I want to change the width of the bar, I need to go to the attributes of the bar. So there, plt.bar, there I need to keep the cursor, comma, width equal 0.7. So basically 70% from the current. So if I run this code, the bar width is changed. To add the scatter plot, let me copy the bar chart and paste it down. And now I need to change the small part of the code. First I need to go to plt.bar. There I need to change the code to scatter. So it is scatter chart. And then width not required. And if I run this code, you will get a scatter plot, but the bubbles are not very clear. For that I need to change the scale. So I just say S means scale 1000. So the size of the bubble will increase. Now I want that bubble in a different shape. So I can use different shapes. So I call it as marker equal. If I select a star, then it will be a star. If I select greater than, then it will be a triangle towards left. And if I select less than and greater than, I'm talking differently. So then accordingly that way. And if I use an exponent, then the upward arrow. So that way you can use many such symbols. I'll give you the list of symbols which you can just experiment and understand. Now scatterplot actually deals with two numerical values. Currently we are not doing that way. We are actually converted the bar chart into a scatterplot. So x-axis is sharing the text and y-axis sharing the numbers. I wanted to actually change this to x-axis to maybe duration. And then if I just run this code, this is what the real scatter plot, where the duration is more than 60,000, the revenue is 732 million, and accordingly wherever the relation is there, that relation is very clearly mentioned based on the available data. I can change any type of color. For example, if I go to sky blue and if I say hash ff2345 and if I run this code, you will get a different color, that is red color. And I want this red color to be little transparent. So for that I can use another attribute called alpha equal 0.6%. 60% alpha. So the color is actually transparent. That way you can change the transparency. So these all attributes are available in matplotlib.org. If you go to specific element like scatter plot and bar plot, you will get all the attributes, and there are every definition is very clearly given. You can understand that and you can experiment in Power BI. There is another way of creating scatter plot. Let me show you that. This time I'm using the larger data set and I'm going to create measures, and I'm using those measures into the plot. For that I have revenue and cost. I need to create total revenue and I need to create the profit margin. So I'm creating a new measure. First I need to create the total revenue. So the measure name is total revenue equal sum of revenue, the column revenue in the data, because that is a larger data set. Press enter. So now I need to create another measure, that is profit margin. So profit margin equal, since I have cost, say divide total revenue minus sum of cost, comma total revenue, comma 0. This will give me the profit margin. So I need to make the percentages. Anyway, this is a common thing which we follow. Let me add a new sheet, and there I am adding the pie chart. So let me make it as big as possible, and into the data fields I am adding city, then total revenue, then profit margin. This time the code part will be a little different. Only similarity is you need to import Matplotlib. So import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Then I need to use the data frame. So data frame here is dataset. The name of the data frame is dataset.plot, and I need to give the attributes. First attribute is what is that? What plot you want? I want scatter plot. And then what is your X? That is profit margin. And what is your Y? That is total revenue. And what kind of color you want? I say red. Whether you want transparency, yes, alpha equal 0.6. Then do you want bubble or any other marker? I want a different marker, so equal exponent. It will show me the upward arrow kind of, or a triangle kind of. And then should I have a scale of it? Yes, scale is approximately 250. Now maybe 350 is fine. So now I need to say please show me the plot. So plt.show. Now if I run this code, you will get the scatter plot in this fashion. So I need to increase the font size and etc. For that, again I need to go to the code. There I need to say import matplotlib as mb, and then mb.rc parameters, that is styling font size equal 20. And then if I run the code, the font size will be bigger. Oh, too much. I think it is 17 is good. Yeah. So that way we have got nice scatter plot chart using a different method. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, please share in the comment section. If you are the first time visitor to my channel, please do subscribe to get more such videos. And if you like it, please share with many and keep watching, and thank you very much for watching.